Distinguished colleagues of the Liberian Senate, Secretary of the Senate and staff of the Senate, members of the press, fellow Liberians. It is with a deep sense of duty and responsibility to the Liberian people that I address you today on behalf of the Liberian Senate as we formally commence the first legislative break of the third session of the 55th National Legislature. This recess, though provided for within our legislative calendar, does not in any way diminish the Senate's constitutional responsibility to remain attentive, responsive, and proactive in addressing matters affecting peace, security, and well-being of our nation. At this time, our country faces important developments along the Liberian-Guinea border. The Senate acknowledges these circumstances with utmost seriousness. We are mindful that border issues, if not handled with care, diplomacy, and firmness can affect not only our territorial integrity, but also the livelihoods of our citizens in close communities. In this regard, the Liberian Senate expresses its concern over the situation, while at the same time reaffirming its full support to the executive branch of government in its ongoing efforts to engage our neighbors through peaceful and diplomatic means. Liberia remains a nation committed to peace, regional cooperation, and respect for international boundaries. And we trust that all actions taken will reflect these enduring principles. We wish at this time to extend our sincere appreciation to His Excellency Joseph Imam Boyka, President of the Republic of Liberia, for his recent visit and engagement with the Senate. Such interaction demonstrates the strength of our democratic governance and the importance of coordination between the branches of government, particularly during periods of national concern. The Senate values this engagement and assures the President of our continued cooperation in advancing the national interest. Fellow Liberians, beyond our border concerns, we are equally cognizant of the broader global developments that continue to impact our national economy. The ongoing crisis in the Middle East has far-reaching implications, particularly for countries like Liberia that rely heavily on imports of fuel, food, and other essential commodities. Fluctuations in global markets inevitably translate into economic pressures at home, affecting the cost of living and the general welfare of our people. It is against this backdrop that the Senate has taken proactive steps to ensure continuity of governance and oversight, even during the legislative break. We have mandated our standing committees on defense and security, ways, means and finance, internal affairs, and foreign affairs to remain fully engaged throughout this period. These committees are tasked with working closely with the Senate leadership and maintaining active coordination with the executive branch. Their work will focus on monitoring the border situation, assessing economic trends and fiscal pressures, and ensuring that government responses remain timely, effective, and aligned with the needs of the Liberian people. This is a demonstration of our commitment that governance does not pause simply because the legislature is on recess. Let me be clear, the Senate of the Republic of Liberia remains prepared and committed. Should circumstances require our immediate attention, the Senate stands ready to reconvene prior to the scheduled date of return. We will do so without imposing any additional financial burden on the government, mindful of the need for fiscal discipline, especially in times such as these. In this regard, I call upon all honorable senators to remain within reasonable proximity and to maintain a state of readiness so that we may swiftly respond to any call to session in the interest of the Republic. To our citizens, especially those residing in the border communities, we urge calm and cooperation. Your safety and well-being remain a top priority of our government. We encourage all to rely on verified information from official sources and to continue to support the efforts aimed at maintaining peace and stability. Liberia has come a long way as a nation. Our strength lies in our unity, our resilience, and our collective commitment to peace and progress. At moments like these, it is important that we stand together as one people, guided by the principles of patriotism, dialogue, and mutual respect. In closing, let me reassure you that the Liberian Senate remains steadfast in its constitutional duty. Even during this break, we are actively engaged, closely monitoring developments, and prepared to act decisively when necessary. May God continue to bless our efforts, guide our leaders, and protect the Republic of Liberia. Thank you.
That the draft agenda be open for discussion, after which adoption for the decision. Are you ready to vote?
Ready.
Are you ready to vote?
Ready.
All those in favor say yes. Against? Abstain? The draft agenda is open for interpretation. Senator Jesus Smith.
Mr. Presiding, distinguished senators, I suggest that at some time we combine NOPQ
in section. Forward here to attached forces engrossed bill number 9 entitled I to prohibit active government officials from serving on the board or management of any public institution to establish a framework for independent supervision and transparent oversight, passed into the full force of the law by the Honorable House of Representatives on Tuesday, March 17, 2026, at the hour of 12:34 GMT during its regular session. Hereby request your timely concurrence. Please accept Honorable Pro Tem and members of the new assurance of my highest sincerely yours, Gabriel and Simon Chief Clerk. Mr. Presiding Officer.
Distinguished colleagues, we listen to a communication from the House of Representatives transmitting causes engrossed bill number 9 entitled an act to prohibit active government officials from serving on the board or management of any public institution and to establish a framework for independent supervision and transparent oversight. What's the will and pleasure? You can pleasure on the house is ground bill. Oh, okay, I gave it a seat.
Motion, Senator Bassett.
Madam President, distinguished colleagues, having received the House in grounds built towards preventing active government officials from serving on boards of government institutions, I move that that bill be received and sent to the Committee on Judiciary and Autonomous Agency to advise us upon the completion of their due diligence about PSL.
Before resitting our motion, I will vote. All in favor say yea. Motion carried.
Business on President's Day. Communication from the House of Representatives on House's endorsement to Senate endorsed Bill number 2, 10, 11, 12, and 13 entitled Act creating the Liberian Petroleum Refining Company (LPRC). Amend and repeal provisions of the 1989 Act granting LPRC the exclusive right to regulate import, store, distribute, and commercialize petroleum and petroleum-related products in the Republic of Liberia. An act to create the Agricultural Enterprise Development Bank of Liberia. An act to amend Chapter 57 and 12 of the Executive Law of the Liberia Code of Laws revised. An act to amend and restate Chapter 12, Chapter 20 of the Executive Law, Liberia Code of Law revised, creating the ministry. First one. March 23, 2026, the Honorable House of Representatives, Office of the Chief Court. The Honorable Senate in section, Capitol Building, Capitol Hill, Monrovia, Liberia. Honorable Protest and members, I have the honor by directive of the Honorable House of Representatives in section to inform you that it has concurred with Senate's engrossed Bill number 2 entitled I creating the Liberian Petroleum Refining Company (LPRC) and amending and restating certain provisions of the Act granting LPRC the exclusive rights to refine, import, store, distribute, regulate, and commercialize petroleum and petroleum-related products within the Republic of Liberia. The above mentioned bill was concurred with into the full force of the law by the Honorable House of Representatives on Thursday, March 19, 2026, at the hour of 1700 GMT during its regular session, with amendments repealing in the following section 4.4 and 4.4.1. Please see attached a copy of the addendum or amendments. Please accept, Honorable Pro Tem and members, the renewed assurance of my highest esteem. Sincerely yours, Liberal and Simon. Attached is addendum or amendment. Section 4.4 repeal. With all limiting the generality of the conclusive rights granted Liberia Petroleum Refining Company in the 1989 Executive Rights Act to import, store, regulate, distribute, and commercialize petroleum and petroleum-related products in Liberia, Section 1 of the 1989 Act is hereby repealed. All contracts, MOUs, and concessions required in accordance with the 1989 Act of the Legislature shall continue to be valid. All contracts, agreements, MOU entered by LPRC with concessionaire as a consequence enabler of the concession granted by the government of Nigeria in the mining and agriculture sectors shall continue to be valid. Section 4.41. The protection of the existing private terminal operators, notwithstanding any provision of this item to the contrary. 1. All privately owned petroleum storage terminals, petroleum-related infrastructures, including members of the Liberia Private Terminal Association, which are duly established and operating under valid agreements, licenses, concession, or memorandum of understanding with the Liberia Petroleum Refining Company or the government of Liberia prior to the coming into force of this act shall continue to operate without interruption. 2. Nothing in this act shall be construed to alter, amend, impair, invalidate, or otherwise affect the rights, obligations, or terms of any existing agreement, license, concession, or MOU between such private terminal operators and the LPRC or the government of Nigeria. 3. All existing agreements shall remain valid, binding, and enforceable in accordance with the original terms and conditions until their natural expiration, renewal, or lawful termination. 4. The operational autonomy of existing private terminal operators handle and manage the
Given that there is a concurrence with the amendment, I think we should just give the forward that all is sustained, there is no motion.
Concurrence with amendment, that requires one. So make the motion.
Yeah, consistent with the rules that was stated earlier. I move, I take a second, that this communication before to the relevant committee to review the process position and the last penalty for what level of process position in the conference. Take application.
We're going to be stating our motion. Are you ready to vote?
Ready?
All right, guys. Senator Jimon Smith.
I will be ready to vote if the movement can be specific because quote-unquote relevance is relative.
With the movement, accept or reject?
The committee, because this communication was, this bill was worked on by the committee on
Joint committee?
Joint committee on
So it goes back to the joint committee.
and by judiciary.
Are you ready to vote? All right, guys. Senator Zilon.
I'll be ready to vote if the movement will accept that this matter is already an engrossed endorsement. They only require a government committee at this point. They're not joint committee. That's a procedure. It goes back to the committee. One of the rules when the house has significant, enemy on the floor, you want to one of the rules when the house concurs with us with some significant amendment, it goes to the committee to reconcile.
If we accept the amendment,
But then you recognize it.
So what's the already?
No, rather than is that it goes to a conference committee.
no information.
But rather than to the movement.
So the motion on the floor. So whether we recognize you if you have an already?
Yeah.
I reject.
You reject?
You reject?
Yeah, I reject.
Then we're going down.
Senator Finley.
Putin, distinguished colleague, my own readiness is similar to that of Senator Taylor. In accordance with the rules, if there are differences, we go to the rule.
Information on the motion.
There's no problem the way it works is what there are amendments, if we accept the amendments, then we concur.
Yes.
If we don't accept, we have to decide whether we accept the amendment or not before we set up the conference committee.
So your point is that we are going to vote on it?
The proposed amendment. Well, it's not money. No, it's not
Let me
money.
say something different.
Why we are
already have a position.
So the motion.
No, set up and forget it.
All right, but after that, I read the phone.
What do you plan?
What is secretary? The reference? Go to conference.
Nobody is disputing the fact that if there are differences, there will be a need for a conference committee. We haven't reached that point. We have to review the proposed amendments. We have to review the proposed amendments. And if we agree with the amendments, then there is no need for a conference committee. But if we review and find out that the amendments are significantly
No, the joint committee ended
But they have always been that when there are two versions, otherwise they come on conference committee.
The joint committee.
So that after section is going to be removed at this point. Yeah. Can we listen to the rules?
Rule 42 refers only to report of conference committee. Section 1, the presentation of reports of conference committee shall always be in order, except when the journal is being read or adopted or questioned or ordered, or a motion to adjourn. Shall be determined. The conference committee shall not insert in its report matters not committed to it by either house, nor shall they strike from the bill matters agreed to by both houses. If new matter is inserted in a report, or if matter which was agreed to by both houses is stricken from the bill, a point of order may be made against the report, and if the point of order is sustained, the report shall be rejected or recommitted to the conference committee. Correct. Section 3. In any case in which a disagreement.
What if you have committed nothing to the conference committee? You can accept to commit something.
In any case in which a disagreement to the amendment in the nature of has been referred to conferees, it shall be in order for the conference, for the conferees to report its substitute on the same subject matter, but they may not include in the report matter not committed to them by either us. He may, however, include in the report any such case, matter which is germane, modification of subjects in disagreement. Be in any case in which the corporate violates section 3, the conference committee shall be subject to a point of order.
Which committee? After that, we got the
we need to establish our conference committee. Yeah. How many job committee is the conference committee?
No, let me say something.
So, in the motion, I read a vote. The matter will go to the joint committee. The joint committee will serve as the conference committee. How many of y'all say yay?
Yeah, the Senate committee is that's the rule.
When I want children, never do the one when and you confuse that you know who actually to give birth to, so you can go to you say, wow, guilty. The person that say who say you. He's looking different fields. They know who they you.
Business on President's Second communication. The Honorable House of Representatives, Office of the Chief Whip, March 2026. The Honorable Senate Section, Capitol Building, Capitol Hill, Monrovia, Liberia. Honorable Pro Tem and members, I have the honor by directive of the Honorable House of Representatives in section to forward hereto attached horses and gross bill number 10, 11, 12, and 13 entitled and I to create the Agricultural Enterprise Development Bank of Liberia. 2, and I to amend Chapter 57, Title 12 of the Executive Law of the Liberian Code of Law Revised, expanding the mandate of Liberia Agricultural Commodity Regulatory Authority, LAGRA, of 2017 by creating a new subsection B on investment incentives for the private sector. 3, and I to amend and restate Title 12, Chapter 20, Subchapter A of the Executive Law, the Liberian Code Revised, creating the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to provide for the restructuring of the ministry's administrative structure for efficiency. And 4, and I to amend the Dupo Road Public Health Center to a comprehensive hospital. Passed into the full force of the law by the Honorable House of Representatives on Thursday, March 19, 2026, at the hour of 16:22 GMT during its regular session, and hereby request your timely concurrence. Please accept, Honorable Pro Tem and members, the renewed assurance of Mount IS-16. Sincerely yours, Gabriel and Sion Chief Clerk, by the President Pro Tem.
Distinguished colleagues, you heard the reading of the communication from the House of Representatives submitting their 4 acts for concurrence. What is your impression? They were listed by the Secretary of the Senate. Motion. Senator G. Smith.
Madam Pro Tem, distinguished senators, on the act to create the Agriculture Enterprise Development Bank, from my connection, I think it is a concurrence from the House. So we'll move that if I can obtain a second, that the Senate vote to receive a concurrent vote, or I said a concurrent vote from the House of Representatives for the Agriculture Enterprise Development Bank to be passed into law and sent to the President. For signature. And then on the act to amend the provision of LACRA, I move that if I can obtain a second, that
Is that all for concurrent?
They're going to committee.
it's already getting committee. Yes.
So the motion is to send all to the committee. Regular committee.
On agriculture and judiciary.
With that motion, are you ready to vote? Already, that's Senator Zeno?
I'll tell you a
Give you a commitment.
No.
And it's simply what?
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on location where you are watching us from this time. We'd like to say welcome to BKS TV and welcome to the Heat Hour program here on BKS TV. On the Heat Hour, we say dialogue and not confrontation. We say words and not bullet. Today is the 24th date of March AD 2026, and the time is 28 minutes past 8 o'clock in Liberia. 28 minutes past 8 o'clock in Rwanda, East Africa, where I sit from this evening. And of course, my name is Junior Payne, your regular host of the Heat Hour program here on BKS TV. The Heat Hour comes your airway every Monday through Sunday, beginning at 8 o'clock p.m. till 10 o'clock p.m. Liberia time. On the Heat Hour, we discuss trending national issues ranging from education, health, politics, and a lot more. On tonight's edition of the show, we'll be discussing some other cardinal issue across the country. But let's firstly try to bring you some of the happenings across Liberia today. Unconfirmed, let's keep that for a little bit now. The government lawyer's first primary witness in the ongoing economic sabotage trial at Criminal Court C has testified that more than 1.5 billion and 500,000 United States dollars linked to joint security operation during the 2023 election may have been disbursed on a unclear circumstances, raising questions about accountability and the use of public funds. Baba Mohammed Boykai, program manager at the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, told the court that investigators uncovered significant discrepancy involving government funds allegedly allocated for joint security operations during the election period. Testifying for the prosecution, Boykai said the investigation was triggered by media reports concerning a U.S. 500,000 transaction involving the Financial Intelligence Agency. In response, the LACC summoned former Financial Intelligence Agency Director Stanley Ford for clarification. According to Boykai, Ford initially confirmed that the publicly reported amount was inaccurate and indicated that the total sum involved was higher than 500,000 He further stated that the funds were designated for joint security operation rather than FIA use, but declined to disclose how the money was spent or who received it, citing national security concern. But I also that is from the ongoing economic sabotage case to the criminal code C in Monrovia. The National Road Funds of Liberia has opened a 3-day contractor banks partnership forum running from March 24th to 26, 2026, aimed at addressing procurement challenges and strengthening financing mechanism for Liberia road sector. Held under the theme Building Roads, Building Trust, Unlocking Procurement Efficiency and Sustainable Infrastructure Financing. The forum brings together contractors, financial institutions, and key government stakeholders to improve transparency, accountability, and collaboration in infrastructure development. Mr. Aloysius Tente Jr. is watching us this evening from Canada. Aloysius, welcome. Solomon, man, what is going on? Again, want to say welcome to all of you. Welcome to the show here this evening. Still on updates here, Mr. Sam. Cyrus Bali is in the back. We're going to be bringing him on very shortly. But let's bring you a few updates across Liberia. The Civil Law Code at the 6th Judicial Circuit Court in Montserrat County has issued a preliminary injunction halting the planned April 18, 2026 election of the Liberia Football Association following a legal challenge by the LFA headed by Mustafa Raji. The ruling handed down by assigned Judge, Circuit Court Judge Peter W. Benewele on Tuesday, March 24, 2026, restrained the LFA Election Committee, its executive committee members, and presiding officers from proceeding with the electoral process pending the outcome of a petition for declaratory judgment. The petitioner argued before the court that despite meeting all eligibility requirements, he was wrongfully and arbitrarily and unlawfully denied the opportunity to participate in the upcoming LFA election. The denial, according to the petitioner, was based on alleged prior criminal conviction. However, the petitioner, Cassell Antonin Court, through his lawyer, contained that the LFA election guidelines were misapplied. He maintained that under the Liberia Constitution, particularly Article 21, civil rights are automatically restored upon completion of a sentence, satisfaction of penalties, or the executive pardon. Therefore, he argued the alleged conviction should not disqualify him from contesting. That's from the LFA 2 in Liberia. A lot is going on in the country. So many things happening from so many angles, and a lot is going on. Well, let's bring you this one before we bring Mr. Sam on. Reports from reliable sources at the Capitol building says the House of Representatives may reconvene this week or next week and may cause for action against Montserrat County District 10 Representative Yeke Koluba over his controversial remark on the border dispute with Guinea. In a communication to the House leadership, Montserrat County District 3 lawmaker Sumo Moba is demanding an apology and 6-month suspension without pay, warning that explosion proceeding could follow if Representative Koluba fails to retract his statement. Representative Moba speaking on Spoon FM and Spoon TV today's show this morning. Representative Koluba comments suggesting that the Liberia-Guinea disputed land belongs to Guinea could undermine Liberia's sovereignty and violate the constitution. Reacting to his colleague on the show via a phone in call, Representative Koluba initially appeared to have denied the claim, but later stood by it after an audio recording was played on the radio by the show lead host Yekezi Zobe. And it's 36 minutes past 8 o'clock, making it 24 minutes up to 11 o'clock. We still got 1 hour, 24 minutes here on the show. Let's bring on Mr. Sam Saros Ali. Good evening, Chief. How are you doing this evening?
Hello, Junior. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. I think I might be experiencing the same problem again from your end. I don't know what is going on.
You can't hear me?
Wow. This shouldn't work right again like this today. Sam, are you there?
Yeah, Junior, I'm here. How are you?
Okay. You are a bit better now. I'm doing great. How you doing, Chief? How is your end? Let's hear you what's on your mind this evening.
Well, it's great to be here again for the talking point. It's great to be back to speak to our people across the globe. It is wonderful here today. We have having a little bit of sunshine, which is a good thing, good signs. We've been in the cold for a long time now. Sun coming up, so it's good. Yes, there are a lot of things unfolded in Liberia today. I was listening to you about the communication against Yeke Koluba. Yeah, I would, like I said, the general last night, if I had been there, I would have done the same thing. But I won't ask for his expulsion. I only ask for his apology to the nation. No matter what we do, how we disagree with each other, that's not the way you approach some things, especially when something is going against your country. Freedom of speech does not carry that kind of weight, especially with the representative of the Republic of Liberia. But we are yet to see what they will do and how they will do it. It's great to be back. Those who are listening and watching across the globe, I want to say thank you for joining us again. We are here to electrify the conversations around Liberia. Thank you.
It's great to have you on the show here this evening, Mr. Sam. One of our topic, you just touched on it here. I know yesterday you stood firm with your decision that if you were in a house, you would have called for some kind of restraint on Representative Yeke Koluba. But now that one of his colleagues, Sumo Moba of Electoral District 3 in Manchuraro County, has written the House of Representatives that they should reconvene this week so that they can take some action. He recommended that Yeke Koluba apologize to the Liberian people, and he also recommended that he should be expelled for 6 months without pay, and if possible, there should be an expulsion from the legislature. What say you on this decision, and do you think it should only be applied to Yeke Koluba? Because I know you have a different take. Yesterday you said you don't care whether he insults leaders or not. Your only concern is when it comes to national issue, especially something that has to do with a foreign country in Liberia. We Liberians should be united in one voice instead of us, especially leaders going on and saying things that do not represent the country. But I also want you to make a take on the issue of maybe the insult and all of that. Do you think that there should be a kind of precedent set?
So, Junior, again, you can hear me? Okay.
I'm hearing you, Chief.
Okay. So, Junior, again, listen, Our apologist has been infected with language that does not represent Liberia. The activities, how we campaign and conduct ourselves in Liberia is out of ordinary. Politics, like I always told people, is not a stupidity. It's just a policy difference, you know. I can have policy different with you, and we can still be a friend, or maybe we can still be Liberians. But to go to the extreme where mother will be insulted, father will be insulted, casket would be towed in the streets, and to the level, Junior, I don't think it's politics. To me, it's just stupidity. Because towing casket doesn't mean, it does not show any signs of decency. It shows the naiveness of the people who doing it. What does casket has to do with politics? Just because Junior and I differ on, okay, for example, there is a Nimba Gandhi flag color. I said, no, it shouldn't be red, it should be green. And Junior has to convince me how it should be green. So does it mean that alone, that discussion can be better than Junior saying, oh, somebody casket is laying down? For what reason? Just because we disagree, you want to kill me before my time? Just because we disagree on issues, it means that you have to get into my mom. That's not politics we want for our country. But it was introduced, and again, I always say this though, a loose society like Liberia, once those things are introduced, it will go on a long way. So people adapted it, and those who introduced that type of politics, it started ringing insults on them the same way when they were in power. But Junior, my only difference here is that regardless of how they insult each other and do their politics in the country, that's okay. It's Liberia specific. But when it comes to national, someone saying to us that the piece of land that gave us birth, they're going to take that piece of land from us, and it belongs to another country, and somebody who is being paid with tax dollars will come up front and make a reckless statement. Junior, that way I have my problem with. I don't care what they say to each other. It has been introduced. It left with them to make the corrections. If we want to have a decent society, it's left with them. But my only concern is the society, our piece of land, the land that was promised to some of us, because we were not thinking about being born in Liberia, but our parents born us there, so it was promised to by our forefathers. So therefore, it should be maintained. For someone to come and say, I'm going to claim it, it's their respect to us, and we should stand together as Liberians, no matter how divided we are. It is our land. It's because of this land, men like Yaketa Korba is getting paid, and it's being called representative today. Are you there, Junior?
Sam, are you there?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. I'm done for now.
Wow. Sam, if you are hearing me, I'm not hearing you. Let's go for this break. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Okay.
Distinguished colleagues of the Liberian Senate, Secretary of the Senate and staff of the Senate, members of the press, fellow Liberians. It is with a deep sense of duty and responsibility to the Liberian people that I address you today on behalf of the Liberian Senate, as we formally commence the first legislative break of the third session of the 55th National Legislature. This recess, though provided for within our legislative calendar, does not in any way diminish the Senate's constitutional responsibility to remain attentive, responsive, and proactive in addressing matters affecting the peace, security, and well-being of our nation. At this time, our country faces important developments along the Liberian-Guinea border. The Senate acknowledges these circumstances with utmost seriousness. We are mindful that border issues, if not handled with care, diplomacy, and firmness, can affect not only our territorial integrity, but also the livelihoods of our citizens in those communities. In this regard, the Liberian Senate expresses its concern over the situation, while at the same time reaffirming its full support to the executive branch of government in its ongoing efforts to engage our neighbors through peaceful and diplomatic means. Liberia remains a nation committed to peace, regional cooperation, and respect for international boundaries. And we trust that all actions taken will reflect these enduring principles. We wish at this time to extend our sincere appreciation to His Excellency Joseph Imam Boakai, President of the Republic of Liberia, for his recent visit and engagement with the Senate. Such interaction demonstrates the strength of our democratic governance and the importance of coordination between the branches of government, particularly during periods of national concern. The Senate values this engagement and assures the President of our continued cooperation in advancing the national interest. Fellow Liberians, beyond our border concerns, we are equally cognizant of the broader global developments that continue to impact our national economy. The ongoing crisis in the Middle East has far-reaching implications, particularly for countries like Liberia that rely heavily on imports of fuel, food, and other essential commodities. Fluctuations in global markets inevitably translate into economic pressures at home, affecting the cost of living and the general welfare of our people. It is against this backdrop that the Senate has taken proactive steps to ensure continuity of governance and oversight, even during the legislative break. We have mandated our standing committees on defense and security, ways, means and finance, internal affairs, and foreign affairs to remain fully engaged throughout this period. These committees are tasked with working closely with the Senate leadership and maintaining active coordination with the executive branch. Their work will focus on monitoring the border situation, assessing economic trends and fiscal pressures, and ensuring that government responses remain timely, effective, and aligned with the needs of the Liberian people. This is a demonstration of our commitment that governance does not pause simply because the legislature is on recess. Let me be clear.
Welcome back. I'm seeing the CEO moving, and that's a good sign. And Sam too. I think the problem is from Sam. It's not from me.
No problem for me, sir.
Because each time Sam I hear, I will not hear him. Yeah. The problem is from Sam. It's not from me. I think.
Well, that no problem from me. Oh.
Yeah, I think it has to do with your stand on your. I came on the show tonight to really hear your take on Yeke's statement and the retraction, and the man backpedaling. The man said he said. Jay, you got a video?
So yeah, I'm trying to get both video. the time he said it and the time he denied it this morning, so we can have our take on it. But my question is, do you think the House of Representatives will act in a communication from Representative Smoke? If yes, and why is it that it took too long to do that?
No, I want you to play that video and listen to the tone of Yeke. If you listen to that, the call he made this morning to Spoon FM, right? If you listen to it, if you have not listened to Yeke before, and this was the first time listening to him, and people talked about him this way, you will doubt it. The man was so measured.
Is calling me.
I mean, I couldn't believe that Yeke. The man never even insulted the man. He never talked anything negative. And he even said that he wanted to go justify what he said, but in a measured manner. You could tell that the demeanor has changed. So it looks like the pressure the men put on him, if they continue that, it will definitely have a say on him, an impact on him. Yeah, I listened to Yeke on that clip. I was like, wow, this is not a Yeke that came to the airport and was saying that. This is not a Yeke that on Spoon. I was saying all those things that he was saying. But Sam, you need to listen to your man and see how he has changed. 360 degree, man. The man, I'm talking completely different thing. He said, he said he didn't say it, but he even said that Joseph Boakai, no, he said Mr. Boakai knows. Mr. Boakai knows why the Guineans, well then Mr. Boakai knows that they play for the Guinean. I mean, it's just all over the place. But I think playing the video would be very nice to have.
Nah, yeah, guys shouldn't disappoint me because.
Oh, he did. Man, saying different thing.
I'm supporting him from afar.
How you doing?
I'm okay. I'm listening to you people.
You got it, Gio?
Great. We got a video here. Let's say kudos to Spoon TV and a credit to them for this clip too as well. And let's play the clip and you can listen to it. I know, Sam, you'll read between Liberian politicians and know what their next move would be. The man can say ball bounce story will change. So the ball already bounced, the man changing your tongue. But let's play the recording real quick and we'll be right back to discuss it.
So let's just hear from Honorable Yeke Koliba shortly before coming back to you, Honorable Small Mother. Honorable Yeke Koliba, welcome to the show. I think you've been following, and that is why you called. What do you make of everything that your fellow lawmaker has said about your statement made recently, turning over Liberian territory to Guinea? What do you make of that, Honorable Koliba? You like?
Yeah, guys, see.
Yeah.
You firstly need to tell. Let me say morning to Honorable Zuma Monaba.
Good morning.
We usually call one another twin brother.
Oh, yeah, twin brother.
Yes, Moja said it.
Yeah. I want to encourage him. Somebody just called me just to come on the show because there was some discussion. I want to encourage Honorable Monaba to push forward. And she also take into consideration. The law shouldn't be only for us. We should use the Constitution. And he knows very well to benefit the people. When the people that we serve are protected under the Constitution, it's better for us. That means we have achieved. Mr. Boakai has broken a lot of laws in the country, broken the Constitution in the country. We didn't hear him speak about it. I'm not going to go into that because I'd rather talk about talk. You can see. Look, I have said I maintain my statement at the meeting, according to my source, the meeting Mr. Boakai went to in Guinea. He's aware that the Guinean president told him that they will have to put the military into Guinea to protect the water. I maintain my statement. So that Mr. Boakai proved me wrong.
So, Representative Sumo Moba, I had specifically termed your statement because recently you made a statement that the disputed land area at the Solomba border area belongs to Guinea. So he has termed that statement as
so you can Yagazi.
Yeah.
Yagazi, please play that recording for the public sake, where I said it belongs to Guinea. I have said Mr. Boakai is aware that when he went to Guinea, that's my statement. And when he gave you the tape to play, You will hear me saying it. Mr. Parker is aware. Let Mr. Parker inform the Liberian people that that's the situation. That's the reason why they are not sending AFL there.
So,
but Honorable Zuma should be very concerned.
Are you saying you did not make
Yes,
the statement that the Solomba Bola area over there belongs to Guinea? Is that what you're saying?
Play the recording for the audience sake. Let me give you the recording, play for the audience sake.
Okay, so yeah, let me see if I can get that recording.
Yeah.
On
get the recording that I am saying that play belongs to Guinea. I have said Mr. Parker is aware that the Guinea president told him that play belongs to Guinea. That's my statement, and I stand by it. I will not reverse it. Mr. Parker was elected. You need to have our people informed. It's going to 3 weeks. What's going on? Guinea just took another or Molba is aware. So I will say you can make a statement. So my statement, the one I brought me, our other country when Guinea got to the border. Our other country when Guinea started to move into Liberia. Mr. Monoma should be saying, look, we want to know who wanted to bring war between Liberia and Guinea. Who are mining on the water? Who told Guinea Diamond are bringing this problem? How should be discussing?
Are you willing, because as per the letter Honorable Small Mobile has sent to the leadership of the House of Representatives, it calls for you to apologize, retract the statement, and be suspended for 6 months. If you don't do so,
I do not see anything in my statement. I'm not going to apologize. I want to respect Honorable Monoma. I want to respect my colleagues, but I have not said anything that worry me to apologize. Mr. Parker should be able to apologize to Lebronpo for not informing Lebronpo on the happening. And Guinea is keep encroaching on the Lebron property. That's what Mr. Parker should do.
Okay, yeah,
That's what Mr. Parker should do. I respect Mr. Monoma, but I encourage you to go further. Push further.
Okay.
You told me, let him leave. You can see.
Yeah.
Let Honorable Monoma leave my family issue out. Let him discuss me. If my colleague, one of my family not here, they here, that's not the issue. My family not here, like Bronco suffering. My family here, like Bronco will suffer.
Okay. All right. Honorable Tolaba, just hang up the loud. We will play the statement and then recall you to maybe address.
I want to see. Don't grab one asset. Don't grab something from the statement to say. Honorable Tolaba say they play for Guinea. Play the recording. If that even 5 minutes that they play, so that LeBron can listen to what I said. Okay. Honorable Monoma is my good friend, brother. So you think I'm going to discuss him here? LeBron are suffering. We made the laws. The laws has been disrespected. None of the rules have been disrespected. You understand? I didn't see Honorable Monoma talk about it. So maybe he got some personal issue against him, but I want to encourage him to move forward. Let all encourage him. No, leadership is not plenary. When the matter comes, leadership, if they ask me to go to the rules and order, I will go there and tell them.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Honorable.
Let me tell me where I went wrong.
Thank you, Honorable.
Thank you, you can see.
All right.
Yeah.
What you said, you got a statement already?
Yeah, I mean,
we have the statement here. Let's play that. Let's play that right here. Okay, here is it.
From my information, from my survey that I have done, that place is for the Guineans. Remember what I'm saying today. Mark this. From my information, from my survey that I have done, that place is for the Guineans. Remember what I'm saying today. Mark this and remember it. We had an argument today. We were plenty. From my information, from my survey that I have done, that place is for the Guineans. Remember what I'm saying today. Mark this and remember it. We had an argument today. We were plenty. People from Lofa were there. And people from Lofa know very well that place, when you look at the map, that place is in the yellow. That particular place the Guinea are is in the yellow. People from Lofa are aware, they are informed, they are convinced. But let me tell you what's part of the situation, Stanton.
Okay, I think that is enough. Let's try to read. I think Honorable Yeka Koloba has been listening. Let's try to recall Honorable Yeka Koloba because this is what he said on the Spoon Talk. That wasn't edited. That is Mr. Yeka Koloba, Representative Yeka Koloba's own voice, and I'm recalling him. I'm recalling him. Honorable Yeka Koloba, did you listen? Did you listen to the statement?
So you want me to say mine so you can conclude my statement on it? You are on spoon. You are on spoon. You have the whole recording. You can see. You can see.
Yeah. So
no, that's not the recording you play. You play one thing over and over. No. Stand. I mean, you can see. You can see. I'm not saying that. I would never reject my voice. That's not AI. I cannot reject my voice. But you have to play the recording.
You are
in that recording. I said, let me talk now. Okay. You want me to talk?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not a labor. I cannot reject my statement. In that recording, I also said that Mr. Barker, when he went to Guinea, the Guinea president told him that place is for Guinea. Play the recording. Why is he playing one point to the recording?
You also said that. You also said that based on information that you got, the area belongs to Guinea.
I said based on information.
Argument was
based on information.
Okay.
Based on information, right?
So I will just again play this recording for.
No. You are not playing the whole thing, JT. You just playing one point that want to satisfy maybe you and Sumo. You should play the whole thing for the public to.
Welcome back, folks. You listen to Yeka. I think Yeka is still on course. Yeka say he didn't say that, but he got evidence that somebody told him that that particular land belongs to Guinea. And if the Rules and Order Committee in the House of Representatives call him for any questioning, he would go there. He would provide evidence to them. And of course, we want to say welcome once again to the show. Siawete, good evening, welcome. CEO, let's hear you on this. Do you think Yeka will back down? You will apologize to the Liberian people, or do you think the House of Representatives will act in this matter?
Maybe I should ask you first. You said Yeka is still on course. So you listen to the video from the airport to the one you did on Spoon. So based on your stance from last night to today and everything you have seen in between, do you think Yeka is someone credible, or do you still stand by his claim that first he said it was for Guinea, now he's saying he didn't say so? What's your take on that? Then
I think Yeka, like I said last night on the show, Yeka didn't say the land was for Guinea. This is exactly what I said on the show last night. He said his sources told him that particular land in dispute belongs to Guinea. And I think Yeka repeated the same thing on the Today Show on Spoon TV. And here is another thing that I want to say here. The entire House of Representatives, all those guys, they are all social media fanatic. They love the social media so much to the extent that everything they do, they want the media to know about it. If you believe that this is a critical issue and you don't want people speaking about it on social media, your colleague says something that maybe you believe it violates the Constitution of Liberia, you've already written the House of Representatives, look forward to them, push the issue there, and let the issue be, resolved from that end point. But in the split of an eye, Representative Sumo Colley appeared on Spoon TV to explain that he has written a communication. Yeka will be suspended. Yeka will do this. Yeka will do that. He will apologize. If he don't apologize, they will expel him from the House of Representatives. These are all big mouth talk. Today is Yeka. You see people like Sumo Colley and the rest of the folks will say, oh, Yeka, you're behaving bad. But yesterday, when the Liberian people were held a hostage at the same House of Representatives, you only have few people All the other folks were saying, oh no, that internal issue, let them discuss it inside there. They shouldn't bring it outside. In fact, the executive cannot intervene into this. A contradicted the principle of separation of powers and all of that. But today, Yeke said something, and you're seeing almost people from the executive, what are they talking to him? Nobody's saying, oh, that has to do with the House of Representatives, a contradicted separation of power principle and all of that. So I think Yeke is still on course. If Yeke have evidence to what he said on Spoon Talk and doing the interview at the airport, he can go to present it to them. Those are his colleagues. They are not God that he would be afraid of them. I know that Yeke might have evidence. For me, I've said it. Yeke have good points. Sometimes he got genuine evidence to those things that he says, but the way in which he expressed those things, it makes it difficult for level-headed people to take his side. And the major issue here now, folks have been accused in that whole Makuna River thing. People have been mining and all of that. But you're not seeing the House of Representatives convening a session to invite those people to answer to question. But because of Yeke, they are currently on break. Because of Yeke now, they are asking for, a special session so that they can take decision on him. But nobody writing a communication to say, oh, we heard that XYZ person is mining saying the river, that's why bringing the issue. So let's invite that person to come and answer some question. They are not doing that. This is the kind of deception that we got in our politics in Liberia. And I think if it continues this way, Liberia will not go anywhere. That's why you see many young people today, when they wake up, all of them will wake up and say anything they want to say to leaders. And the leader themselves, they will not back down from those things. They will say their own. There are serious national issue of national concern. Sumo College should have been one of those folks that, will write the House of Representatives to say, let's invite the accused to come here and answer some question. Why is it that you are mining in the river and according to information, it is illegal? You got a Ministry of Mines and Energy. Invite the minister to give you updates as to who are those mining in that river. But you're not doing it. And we all sitting here, we hauling and pulling with issues that are not supposed to be an issue. At first, we said it was sand mining thing. Now it is about Buddha and all of that. This is terrible. And I think if even the Sumo Koli himself, Representative Sumo Koli himself, if here is not taken from his end, he will baptize himself with some kind of situation that he can't handle. I will stop here for now.
So it looks like you are saying you're the lawyer for Yeke. Yeke is saying completely different things. You are saying completely different things because Yeke first on tape he said the land based on, he said, mark my word, mark this. The land. So when you come as a lawmaker, a sitting lawmaker of the country, and your country is having issues with another country over its sovereignty, when it comes to sovereignty, when it comes to land, the respect for the country, then you as a lawmaker, before you talk, you got to be very careful as to what you say, how you speak, because things you see right now, what he said now is taking headway. And now people are not talking about the Guinea stuff again. Everyone talking about what he said, because that shows how powerful the position they occupy is. So as a leader, you don't speak because you just want to speak. You don't speak because you see microphone in front of you as you talk. The man came to RIA. I listened to that interview. There are two sets of interviews, the one from RIA and the one he did at Spoon. RIA, he said the same thing. He said the land is for the Guineans, based on his sources and what he know, how people in Lofa also know that he has series of meetings with people, and they all know that the place where the Guinean soldiers are is quote unquote in yellow, and that belongs to the Guineans. That's what he said, and that's his sources. So when you come as a lawmaker, when you say based on what I know, and he's from Lofa, and his sources, everyone that he has talked to, the area is for Guinea. That carries a huge weight than any other regular person that will speak. So that's what he said. He said that. And then on Spoon yesterday, he said the same thing. He said, mark this. The place is for Guinea. He said it. And today, when they ask him, he said he's now trying to shift. He said, I didn't say that. You play the whole clip. The entire clip I said there, Mr. Bouaka, when he went to Guinea, Mr. Bouaka knows that the place the Guineans are is for Guinea. Trying to leave himself out. But then he's saying that he didn't say, how can you look at people in their faces, sound people, you look at a whole nation? You just played a clip, and the clip, you said it over and over. Mark this, based on my sources and my information, my research that I've done. This place for Guinea. Without any idea as to what he's talking about, he just said that. Now he wants to run from it. The Yeke will know, listen to the Yeke that will know, that the Yeke to listen to this morning, the Yeke that will know that can cause everybody that can go after a man. He has his colleague in studio, the man accusing him. The man even talking about his family. He say, I'm not disrespecting him, because he knows that the decision those guys are about to take, it could actually affect him. And he doesn't want to go without pay for 6 months. That's why he's softening, and that's why he's saying all those things. But I can guarantee you, they will suspend him. I don't know about expelling him, but I know they will suspend him. Based on what I have gathered so far, I think he will be suspended for certain time. Now, it left for him to apologize on that. But from what I'm gathering from my sources, I think it is very serious. And that's why Yeke is tuning down the rhetoric. He knows what he said was wrong. He knows Liberians, even the folks that are not even from Lofa, they are not happy with him because of what he said. And now he's trying to back, but he doesn't want to say sorry for what he said. He doesn't want to backtrack fully. So there's nothing there that makes sense to me when it comes to what he said as far as the place being for Guinea. I said on the show last night, I will say again, there are international boundary demarcation between Liberia and Guinea. It is there, recognized by AU, recognized by ECOWAS. That's what we'll go by, and that's what people will go by. So for him, I don't know what his sources are. I don't know what research he has done, what information he's using, or maybe from there, or he lived during the time of the colonial regime. So I don't know where he's coming from. But what we know, the facts we know, is based on international law, international demarcation, the map that they have, that ECOWAS has. That place belongs to Liberia, and Liberians deserve to get back to their area where they live, to their farming in peace with no confrontation. So Yeke, I think he has to retract those statements, because I saw something on Facebook. I don't know how authentic it is. The folks in Guinea are using that as point to say, see, we told you this place for us. They have that sitting lawmaker who's saying this. Now, even if that story is not authentic, I can guarantee you there's a good chance that the Guineans, because the Guineans are following what we're saying, vice versa. So they could use that against and say, okay, yeah, this is our place. You see, the guy sitting lawmaker who's from the region is saying it in a whole strong way. So Yeke needs to retract those statements, apologize, and then they should suspend him for 6 months. I would say 1 year. Let him be very careful. You can't come out and be reckless when it comes to saying things when you are a sitting lawmaker. So that's my take on that, and I will stop here and let the other guys speak, and then I will come in later.
Thank you, Sam. Let's hear you, even though we're here at first and you had your initial thought on the issue. But let's hear you before we go to Siawete.
Well, great to see you and Siawete. Doctor, the only doctor. Well, Junior, again, and I will say this: no matter what, how our politics are being infected, whatever that were introduced into our politics, the cursing, the dead body, the cascade that were introduced to our politics many years ago, whatever cursing that they have introduced into our politics, where people will literally insult the mothers of other people, throwing the living body cascade appears to be the living body cascade and all of those things. Listen, I don't care. At some point in time, if we want to have a decent society, we can work on that. I know those who introduce it, they get a payback when they were in power. So once you introduce something in a loose society like that, you'll get a payback, and the payback has been paid. Let's see whether they will still do that again in the next coming election. But yes, Liberia must be Liberia. The country belongs to us. No sitting representative, no matter how much you don't like the president of the Republic of Liberia, if he was one person who campaigned for him, if he's so bitter for what he's doing, the president has the personal issues or whatever it may be, Junior, I don't care. What I'm care of is the great country, the land that was promised to us. And again, I didn't know I was going to be born in Liberia. So I was born there. So the land was promised to all of us that were born there. We hold this land dearly. Our forefathers fought for it. But I won't encourage any citizen of Liberia to come on in this kind of difficult time to try to make Liberia look like we are nothing. Liberians like we are nothing. The land belongs to people. That I will not take it for anybody. That's not nationalism. That's not patriotism. When I was born, my father told me one thing. This is a homeland where my neighbor's stream was buried. With that being said, it is land that I recognize. Whatever I do in another world, Liberia is my home. And I hold that land dearly. I will never, as long as I live, people who want to be very unpatriotic to Liberia will put our armor on them, will carry more war. We're not carrying violence against them. The more war is to make them look indecent to the society. You can't be sitting down and be eating and consuming the Liberian people taxes and come while Liberia is in difficult situation to use or utter a reckless statement, crazy statement that will go in a long way. We do not need that. When Ellen still tried to play that thing, I was here. I say it's very unpatriotic of him. The decency of our country is to hold our country together. No matter how we disagree with each other in our politics, our land belongs to us. Nobody should take away our land. And anybody who support that people, we can even charge them with treason. But at this point, I will agree with the representative who have filed a bill or maybe a communication for Yekeh to apologize. I won't agree with the 6 months punishment. I want him to come on air and apologize to the Liberian people. I'm sorry what I have said to I was talking stupid. Let him come and say those words. We will consider him. Whatever they do in the House of Representatives is up to them. But what I want to hear from Yekeh is to apologize to the Liberian people. This is not the society we want to live. This is not a word that I want to utter as a citizen of this country. Junior, I would better be pleased with that statement alone than suspension, whatever. No, that one of their business. When they get to the House of Representatives, they will figure it out. Thank you.
So let me ask you this question before we go to CRT. What if it is established by Yekeh that the land is actually in yellow and it does not belong? What if, let's assume that it is established by Yekeh upon him appearing before the Judiciary Committee that the land is actually in yellow and it's not in blue?
Well,
it does not belong to Liberia.
The question, what if, is a question sometimes I don't like to answer. What if he have the evidence to produce, he will produce it.
So will you apologize to him if he produces evidence?
If I apologize?
Yeah.
For what reason?
I mean, you spoken down on him. You say all kinds of things about him. You say his statement is denigrating. It does not represent unity. It puts Liberia out there very ugly. And he's saying he got evidence to what he's saying. And
let him bring it. So, General, what I don't want to engage in is the question that say, what if, is the assumption question. It's not something that I embrace in my conversation.
But all of us here, we can determine whether or not the place is actually for Liberia.
What I have said to you is the land belongs to the Liberian people. The cornerstone is there from it shows 1886. So whatever Yake has in his possession, let him bring it. When it comes to what if time, we'll address it.
Great. Siawate, good evening and welcome to the show. How you doing, Chief?
I'm okay.
Let's hear you on this issue. I know yesterday you said you didn't want to say something much about it, but now that Yaka's former colleague sent a communication to the hospital.
But, hello? You getting me?
Hey.
I mean, I think the CEO and other speakers have spoken about. I don't know. There are some conversations that don't even require being elevated, like I said last night. But the gentleman question, I don't think he's even making. I don't even understand his advocacy. I don't know whether his advocacy is for the Guinean. Is he a lawyer for the Guinean? Is he a surveyor for Guinean? I don't still understand that, because Yake is not just ordinary advocate or any person that you may think about. He's a policy maker, so anything he speaks out, it becomes a policy. So to even be discussing what he say, for me, I don't really find pleasure in that to admit, because I don't even want to discuss it. To be frank with you.
My better got a question for you. My better got a question for you.
See, if you look at your conversation, right? When he came, the very day he arrived in the country,
from Ghana,
interviewing her, they are not collaborating. They are not collaborating. So I mean, there's no need to even the man said this today. He come back and say different thing.
I was saying
what should I even be discussing?
I agree with you. He did
because he says something today, another day he say another thing. So I mean, they got a rules, but for me, in my mind, he's not just a common citizen. He's a lawmaker. He's a policy maker. What he tries to do is he always want to buy sentiment from the public, and to say, "Oh, you working," but it don't make sense that you be a lawmaker. You're talking about serious thing that will bring tension in the country. You're there making fun. So I don't really want to play to that. That's all I can say.
Thank you. I don't know, Gio, why you up to that, but tell me why we Gio, you got another way there, because I was going to ask you a different question pertaining to this Guinea thing.
Yeah, I think I hear you guys now.
Okay.
But I keep tripping and coming back. Yeah, Siawate, thank you. Again, I still stand my ground. Yake, if you got evidence, let him go to present them. And that's the procedure. So for now, as it stands, I will not say Yake is wrong, you should apologize or not. And I think the honorable man, Sumo himself, I think he's in a little bit of error there too as well. Because if somebody laid an allegation against you, the first thing you do is you call for clarification before you ask the person to apologize. You don't just tell the person to apologize. And the sad thing about apologizing, when you don't express yourself or you don't present evidence, it means you are accepting a guilty verdict. That's what happened to Prophet Key. I know where he is right now. He will be saying, if I would have known, I would have explained myself to the court and say, oh, yes, this is what I said, this is what I said. But when he say, oh, I accept it and I will not do it again. And Yeke is very smart for that. He can do that. So as soon as Yeke apologized to the Liberian people now on radio, on television, on an allegation that he leveled against the state, the next thing the House of Representatives will do is to either suspend him or expel him. So he don't want to do that. I think he will go to present his case. He will present the evidences. If those evidences are credible, maybe that's the reason why the government is still holding back from taking the necessary steps that's supposed to be taken. That's why we're still hauling and pulling with this thing. That's why we're still sitting on the media and discussing it. Maybe, we don't know. Maybe Yeke got those evidence.
That's why I don't even want to discuss it, because I don't see it fitting, sir.
Yeah, so it's critical to talk. We all know that boundaries generally in the world has been with water and all of that, but I don't have facts to that, so I would not want to go into whether the boundary between Guinea and Liberia from that angle is that river and all of that. So I would just stop here for now, and maybe
when you say that, so what you say about you are downplaying what the international community say, because there's evidence that ECOWAS recognizes that boundary, the Makona River, as the border. So are you questioning what they're saying?
These are the same ECOWAS people that are hauling and putting with the same border thing. If ECOWAS agree with the border, why is it that they are still holding back? They are not going to resolve the issue themselves. Why is it that they are still holding? If they got those facts in their possession, why can't they call Guinea? Guinea is part of the ECOWAS parliament. Why can't they tell Guinea the fact that, oh, Guinea, this place is not for you? But since then, the issue is going to 1 month now. We've not heard any other statement from ECOWAS affirming that this is the boundary between Liberia and Guinea. If that is the case, CEO, then I think ECOWAS herself is not doing right to the Liberian people. If they got those evidence in their possession and they have refused to acknowledge it publicly.
So I won't say refuse. If you follow the way system work when it comes to international border issues and other things, you don't see ECOWAS moving just like that. There are protocol, there are system put in place to do that. You have to file complaint. You have to carry complaint to them for them to investigate before they come in. ECOWAS is not going to put army together, and mind you, Guinea is also part of ECOWAS. So they are not going to put army together and go to the border and start something. So it's something that has to be thought through. But see how the man stuff is sticking here because he's talking, you're getting. So, you back?
Yes, I'm hearing you now.
Yeah. So I was saying ECOWAS, go read about ECOWAS, the way they work.
So who's supposed to file in a complaint?
Your president. Your country has to go file a complaint and say.
Why is it that my president has not filed a complaint yet?
That's the $10,000 question, $10 million question that every one of us asking. So because the president hasn't filed a complaint doesn't mean that the land is not for us.
Okay, I will agree with you. And let's hold it there. I'm hoping.
How do you even know that the president had not made a complaint? You don't live with the president. You have
if the president did this. This is a national issue. If the president did within the first 2 working days of ECOWAS, they would have released a statement.
The chairman of ECOWAS is who?
The chairman of ECOWAS is from Sierra Leone.
Who? The president went with who? To Guinea.
No, the president, Sierra Leone president, didn't go in his name as ECOWAS Parliament president.
I said the president went with who? I didn't say you should justify. I just asked
no, I have to make clarity there now. I have to make clarity.
Jim, my question is answer my question, please. Who went with the Sierra Leone? Or the president of the Republic of Liberia?
The president of the Republic of Liberia went with Sierra Leone president.
Good. Let's move forward.
Great. So Julius Maada Bio is the president of ECOWAS. And being the president of ECOWAS, his country is also affected. That's why I said there is a feature thing around this thing that we're not discussing.
Is he? We get
the president of ECOWAS. It never went to them, not disturb me.
Yeah, okay, talking patak so they were not
here is my point. You cannot be the president of ECOWAS and you know the boundaries, you got the documents in your possession, and somebody violated your own sovereignty and they violated your neighbor's sovereignty, but you have never conveyed a meeting, an ECOWAS parliamentary meeting, so that issue can be discussed in the parliament, and we're still sitting here. You're not thinking the other side too? You're not thinking say that something
the president not convey parliamentary meeting. He call head of state meeting based on the complaint he get.
So now, why they say that he's not calling for the head of state meeting?
So, Junior,
no way you can hide from this thing.
Every organization has a system. Okay.
Okay. Wait. Let me make a point here. When the issue started between Israel, Iran, and the U.S., the UN being the highest body in the world, the highest organization for peacekeeping and everything. The second night of that thing, the first night from my side was the second night. You saw that the UN conveyed a meeting to address that issue. They did it immediately, effectively. So we shouldn't be waiting for maybe hostilities to be going on before we start to convey meeting. This is the time. The ECOWAS Parliament have not done anything in this situation, and I know the reason why they are not doing it is because the two countries that are affected, they have not filed in a complaint. Why they have not filed in a complaint, we don't know.
So for your question, I mean your example is really out of order. Because
no, it's not.
No, wait a minute now. Wait a minute.
No, it's not, Sam.
No, you just said.
You find.
No, hold on. Just hold on. You just said.
No, Sam, you're trying your best. You're trying your best. You have to understand me. I'm trying my best to make you to understand.
There now. Let's put a correction.
I'm trying my best to make you to understand, but you're trying your best not to understand what I'm saying.
Your example does not fall in line with anything.
So what I'll tell you. Oh, Sam, go ahead. When you finish now, come in.
You said U.S. and Israel, Iran example. United Nations called for meeting.
But you're not moving. Let's say, Sam, you're not moving. You stuck.
Oh, maybe that Junior.
I told you I didn't think it'd be from Sam.
I think I had to do the same, and something not right. But let me give you the protocol that ECOWAS has in play when it comes to filing complaints that has to do with border issues, something similar to what's happening in Guinea and Liberia and Sierra Leone. Before I even make that point, I want to say the government of both countries are doing exactly what they are supposed to do. They are doing the right thing. So the way it works when border issue arises like this, you guys can hear me, right? Okay. So when border issue comes up like this, the first thing is the countries that are affected, like Liberia and Sierra Leone in this case, they are the ones that will initiate the complaint to ECOWAS Commission or directly to the ECOWAS Court of Justice. Okay, so that's how it works. So you will have to initiate the complaint. But before you even initiate the complaint, it usually starts with the process that our government is initiating right now, diplomacy. Like Liberia and Sierra Leone are doing exactly what you're supposed to do first before even filing a complaint. So both countries, the countries will start to work behind the scenes to try to handle or resolve the issues diplomatically before even filing the actual complaint to ECOWAS. Now, when they start the talk and they try to do what they're supposed to do, and those talks fail, that's when now we escalate that to ECOWAS, right? So if we go back for a second here, our government has been doing exactly that. Sierra Leone has also been doing exactly that. So they have been talking behind the scenes. They have reached out to Guinea president. They have tried to talk to him. They are doing everything they're supposed to do from a diplomatic standpoint to stop this. Now, if it fails, that's when the country then take the complaint officially to ECOWAS. So it hasn't gotten there. So to answer your question as to why ECOWAS has not stepped in to sit, because they have recognized the border, why at this time they have not stepped in is because formal complaints have not been filed to ECOWAS yet as this time. If it happens, they will step in. So that's how it works. So I don't think we should discount what the government is doing, in as much as it's frustrating. We want things to be done the right way. I don't think we should discount it because they are following. If you read ECOWAS protocol, the way they work, you will see that the first step is to try to handle things like brothers diplomatically first. If all fail, then now the complainant, the country that is affected with them, officially filed to ECOWAS. That's when the ECOWAS steps in. So we haven't gotten to that point yet. So that answers your question as to why ECOWAS hasn't stepped in yet.
Thank you, CEO. I know you guys still want to discuss, but again, thank you to all of you. Mom Betty Sue is watching us. Princess Morris is also following us from Chicken Soup Factory in around the Japan Freeway in Gannaville, Monrovia. Morris K. McCart Jr. is also watching us this evening. Abigail T. Woye is also following us. And all of you that are watching us this evening want to say welcome to the show. Let's take you to the next topic, the next issue for discussion here tonight. Let's take you to the next issue for discussion here. This is one of the cases that have been in the court now, has been trending on the social media, in the news. It's been making headlines. Today, the prosecution called the case between former Finance Minister Samuel Tuah and the other co-defendants. Trial started today. I'm pretty sure of that. And the prosecution called his first witness. The first witness appeared today before the criminal court C in Montserrat County. And our first witness, he goes by the name Baba Mohammed Boaika. He's the prosecution first witness. He works with the LACC, the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission. When he appeared today before the court, he testified that there were actually 1.5 billion Liberian dollars and 500,000 United States dollars that were allegedly transferred. According to the former finance minister, those money were intended for joint security operation during the 2023 election. Now, with this testimony provided by the prosecution witnesses, I know there will be a lot of witnesses that will testify, and the issue having to do with national security and all of that, I have one question. Do you guys have any, firstly, from the way you listened to the case, if you were part of the jury, what would be your decision, guilty or not, and give us a reason why? And also, this case have to do with national security issue. Do you also think, I know there have been a lot of recordings in the social media to the finance minister attesting or admitting to the crime, admitting that they actually spend money on national security during the election. My second question to you will be, if the money was actually intended for that purpose, and is the government going to get back this money if the verdict would be a guilty verdict? And I want to start with you, Sam. We'll go to Siawete and then the CEO.
Let somebody give me the clarification, because I was out when you were talking, so I don't know exactly what you're talking about.
So today, the prosecution, the case between Samuel Tuah and the rest of the defendants, trial have already begun, and the prosecution called her first witness today. The first witness, his name is Baba Mohammed Boaika. Baba Mohamed Bouazizi works with the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission. And according to him, when they were doing investigation on this case, they actually established that there was some financial misappropriation. There were 1.5 billion Liberian dollars and 500,000 United States dollars that was allegedly transferred from one account to another with the sole intent of national security during the 2023 election. Now, my question to you is, with the evidence that is now presented by the prosecution, they are called their first witness and all of that, what do you think, if you were on the jury bench, what do you think would be your decision? What would be your personal decision? And do you think with this issue surrounding national security, it also has the capability to bring our national security issues to the public?
Oh, no, Junior. So this is the thing, though. Yeah, because we use the word national security, there should be a line of demarcation on how the money was transferred. Directly to NSA, directly to who? What national security we're talking about? Yeah. National security could go different ways, where military budget, national security, NSA budget, police budget, all we group them together, we make one budget for them. So you know what? And if so, what channel this money passed through? So there are a lot of stuff to this thing. One evidence is not enough. If I was on a jury bench, like you said, I will wait and hear more witnesses, and then I will also wait and hear the jury instruction. Then when we get to the jury room, then we'll do a deliberation. And based on what I have heard, I will make my decision based on that. But I can tell you for sure that Samuel Tway has done something. We will hear something later. He did a lot of stuff thinking that, this is the problem with Liberia. Some people get into government position and think that they are above the law, they can do anything. And I always tell people, the seat that you're sitting in, someone has sat down there before. When you are in that seat, do the right thing for the Liberian people. Don't be pulled away by power, because sometimes they get power drunk and they say, okay, do it, I will do it. You guys hearing me? Okay. So I think the problem with Liberia is power. People get into power, they think that they will be there forever. They will not make decisions in the interest of the country, but they will make decisions in their own interest. Many of them will build houses that they never built before in their private life. So, Junior, I am not surprised. Again, when I discussed this topic the other day, I said to you, in my little, me, I'm not a lawyer, but in my little law class, the classes, I can't tell you point blank that I listened to the prosecutor. I think they have a case, a real concrete case against Samuel Tway and the co-defendants. But we are yet to listen to what other witnesses will say against Samuel Tway and his group. So at this point, I can't say a whole lot until we got more witnesses come out to say something.
Thank you. Thank you very much. DK Wade. Wade. Good evening and welcome, Chief. How you doing?
Jonah, because you must have on a swing show that I call my phone, you must not equal.
But I didn't show now.
Yeah, look, all I want to see color shares. Eugene, that's Sam.
Yeah.
Sorry,
my phone in that. No, you good begin. I deep with that way. I enjoy that name. Anyway, thank you, man. I've been a little bit busy. That's why you see I can come sometimes late and off and on. I will soon settle in, and I'll be very punctual now moving forward. Uh, CEO, you know, when I call you CEO, the work and every beat in my mouth. I am going,
You see
I
that
am
root?
going as usual.
Yeah,
So I
no
CEO
respect
thing.
for the CEO. Say on that.
I say CEO. Yeah. Jim, so the topic, the one I got to is the case involving Samuel Tuer. Jim, the the case, hopefully, I pray that Samuel Tuer will win because when the state is done with producing their witnesses, Samuel Tuer will have the opportunity, his legal team will have the opportunity to cross-examine. After their cross-examination, Samuel Tuer, will present his witnesses. But the transaction, the timing of the transaction, and everything that happened leading to that money and that also concluded the indictment during is suspicious. We have elections in October, and during the money they're talking about is not small money. The election was on October, I think October 10, and this was at least 20 or less than 20 days to the elections when people were transacting. Obviously, people were using their money to mean they were using their money to buy people on their side. And when the LAC, matter of fact, the place their money was transferred, the entity that their money was transferred to jail, that they are bought for monitoring illegal transaction.
Yeah.
So the people that are supposed to be the eyeball for monitoring illegal transaction, then you send that kind of money to them. I don't know because the money was huge, so they didn't know where to direct. The RA or what, the intelligence, what is it called?
No, it's called FIA.
FIA. The
Financial
FIA
Agency.
unit. The FIA is actually the establishment is to monitor those things. It's just that we don't have good system in terms of digitalizing all our government transaction and everything. But let me tell you, they play with sitting down here in America here, you get your own money in a bank. The day you go take more than $1,000, they will start asking you will wait. Why you want more than 1,000 in your account? You're not taking it for ATM, and you go to the bank and say, I want 2,000, I want 3,000 for my account. They will leave you right there and start calling all over. The first thing they start asking you, your own money, whether $1 million in your account, you want 3,000 out of it. Why you want to use the money for? They will start asking all the questions. And those people that they called in to make that confirmation and everything from, they monitor your transaction over the years. Whether you took huge money, whatever you're using the money for, they will start investigating. Liberia, I can see people can just walk to the bank and withdraw $1 million. You withdraw when you want to withdraw $1 million, that's the time the FIA, the NSA, all the top security institutions, LACC, and everybody need to be contacted. So June is here, you receiving that kind of money. Is June authorized? June, what you know why I mean to put $1 million in somebody's name? Even at $1 million and say withdrawing one day time. And the sad part is, June, those are often far. Most of those people who playing with our money, ask them the villages they from. They don't even have handpump. People from no villages stay drinking running water in the village. The way people are cruel to us in our place is actually terrible. I pray that the indictment against them, they can fight it so that they can be acquitted. But just sometimes when you yourself, when you hear the transaction inside the way the money, because the money not for them, like all the old money. When you hear people playing with our money, then sometimes you just want to tell the people they instead of judging them, let them be behind the bar first. To be frank, even they use the money on national security. What kind of national security in what kind of national security thing in Liberia? To be frank, what kind of national security thing they do in Liberia? And the money that's supposed to equip hospitals, schools, churches, and everywhere in our country to at least bring it up to standard. You see individual playing with it. What they do is when they take that huge money, they turn to humanitarian. They have people. You posted yesterday. Said the school you go into, nobody can be thinking, nobody can do student politics because those people, one person will turn rich, and everybody around them. Liberia, the only place that you can see one big building, one big thing on 100 acre of land, and everybody around the person is in right and Mara. The people who own that thing, they only work in government. They only work in government. A lot of things are not indicting here and say, oh yeah, he stole the money. But sometimes government officials, past and present, the kind of money they can be played with, they need to be careful before the citizen rise up against them and do something. Now, all I can say, I pray that the legal thing will make them, at least for the case for them to be successful. But our time frame, less than 20 days to elections, and people transacting that time throughout the year, there were no national security issue. But our transaction was between September 21st, 25th, and election was on October 10th. So that money transaction is very suspicious. The only thing that will clear our doubt is the court. That's the only thing I can say.
Thank you. Thank you very much, DK. I agree with you. The timing and everything is something wrong somewhere. Yeah. But again, we look up to the court, like you said. They will come out with a final decision, and that decision will be accepted by the Liberian people. Siawete, let's hear you, then we can go to CEO. Tonight, we are very much occupied. We will be hosting the Eula Women next few hours from now. They will be concluding their International Women Day celebration. So today will be the last day for them. So we will be hosting them on the show. But they will be doing their thing. We are just here to provide them with a platform, and we will not participate in it. So they will be having their thing for themselves. Maybe in the next 14 to 10 minutes, we'll be calling it a day on the Heat Hour program for today and try to make way for them too as well. Siawete, welcome. Let's hear you on this issue, Chief.
Thank you. I think the previous speakers, good evening, CEO. Today the dress code is parallel and unparalleled. You see CEO and myself, we in black, and the rest in brown. So I mean
but we got a business background. It's too many guys, the criminal justice law background. So
law, criminal justice.
No, y'all man, you and with Chelsea. That's the only thing I want for.
Thank you, DJ. Thank you.
Gian, to be frank with you, I'm not saying this because I support the government, but I think it has become, or is becoming, a culture where Liberia as a country, when someone does wrong, when you find yourself on the other side of the aisle, you defend them because you are supporting the other side. And right there, the DK put it, you and myself, we are taking the latches economically because at the end of the day, we bear the consequence. When I say we, it might not be you directly, but we, our people in the villages, even you and myself directly. So Liberia as a country has become a culture of impunity from this whole till now. Look, if you look at the entire budgeting of Liberia, local police, sometimes look at the police budget, look at defense ministry budget, and look at, for example, NSA budget. What role are they playing? So at the end of the day, they say, oh, that national security budget, you get audit it. Who told you? Every government spending require transparent usage. It require accountability. You know, let me carry you back to the procurement processes in Liberia. When you go to PBCC, there are benchmarks in procurement. When you are procuring 10,000 below, there's a benchmark. You can single source it, and you don't have to go to PBCC for signature. Then there's another side of it where maybe you put out a bid for like in the tune of 100,000 above. You have to go through processes. For example, you go to PBCC will be involved, the Justice Ministry, the Ministry of Finance, and all the people internal audit will be involved. At the end of the day, it gives a clear record of how you pass it. Sometimes then now PBCC will give you no objection based on, and you know, your procedure, whether your document is correct, whether you went through all the processes. What I'm trying to say is that these procedures that DK said, we are still struggling with that. The first thing is the gentlemen are already indicted and said, I'm not a lawyer. I have not done law courses. I just done maybe what they call corporate governance. It also got to do with some part of business law and thing. But if somebody sit in front of you, Gian, on camera, in honor the law, they say, well, recording is not permissible in court, right? But there's a man on a live camera admitting to the Liberian people that he even doubled the National Election Commission and budget. He over the budget. What was the intention? Another thing is, if the man can come on a live screen saying that, what become of other ones that are not being revealed. So all of these things, you see people chanting battle cry. Sometimes when I said there are certain times after we left from advocacy, I said no, they think about politics. I think I need to retire. But at some point too, that's where you find your own happiness, you find your own peers, you find the conversation. That's why, because
you are eating money for anything. You are eating money for anything.
The deceit is very huge in our society. To be frank, in the West, sometimes if somebody commit this crime today, to track you in less than few minutes. I don't care how many years ago, for example, like what happened in the Fulton CEO in Minnesota, where there are a lot of people who are different, who have different the government. But mind you, those guys trace the thing they feed it and they breaking it up. So like DK said, with the little we have, the record shows it. The record, you think the prosecutor, then look at the asset. The first thing you can start to judge the person from. What was the person worth before getting to this position? That's why the asset declaration is very important. So if you, for example, presented a house that worth 100,000, after 2 years, you are in a mansion. What have been your transaction over the years? What's your salary? What's your activities? Those are key things people need to look at. Before, for example, in the house, we didn't even used to hear those guys pay. I think it was Darius Dillon, Senator Dillon, who tried to expose some of these things. So there are a lot of things that is still uncovered in Liberia. But what I can fairly say to you is, we as Liberians, we are not still ready, because when I even see people who are advocating for people like that, they're talking about $1 million. Right now, where I said, even if I can get 300,000, 200,000, 100,000, or you can multiply it to be $1 million. But one person sit down in your corner and they're telling you they expended this one on a camera, how expenditure was made, It's not even clear to the Liberian people, but you see people who will even wake up in the morning. We don't have food to eat. We beyond the people advocating for them. So I mean, it's just sad. That's what I can say. But what I do know, the state got complete. I feel that they got evidence, and it is clear in some of these cases. And what I can safely say, from the physical posture of Twe, you can know that he's worried. He's worried. And to conclude, you're the lawyer then. If you see that a gentleman even want to have a case separate, you should know that there's something happening. Because he feels that he should not be part of certain investigation, but he's being put there. There's some that the security budget is seeing maybe $1 million or $2 million, but the total case is in $6 million. I think from what I heard, 6-point-something million. So you do all your calculation, maybe what he was involving is around 500,000 to 500,000 to some extent. He want to judge the case separately. So what I can say is Liberians, ourselves, we are our own problem. People of such, we don't even need to be. I see people advocating for them, but that's a law. If that lawyer speaking, that's another thing. But people who speaking, going to the court, writing all the money, is just because for the sentiment. Beyond that, nothing. That's what I can say.
Thank you. I'm trying to get a video. I don't know where I place it. It's about the current Minister of Finance, Minister Augustine Gafwan. I think I saw him on a tape saying he allocated some money for national security and that money was not budgeted for. I wanted to ask a question. Is this the procedure, is the same procedure that Samuel Tua follow? Or maybe it's something different from Samuel Tua case?
But 12 case, let me count that. 12 case, the reason why it being, the man is admitting to using the money. That's one. Right? He's admitting to using the money. But he's speaking of the law that he had, the immunity that the president has covered him. I think so. I think that's the argument. He accepts that he used the money, but whether it was used wrongfully, that's where the argument is right now.
Mm-hmm. So I think the prosecution argument is the money was not intended for that purpose. So they shouldn't have spent it. And there way I'm asking a question whether it is in the same scenario, because when I listened to the current finance minister on a statement, he said there were some allocation made to the national security, but it was not budgeted for. I think somewhere around maybe 2 or 3 million, somewhere around there.
Computer today, man.
Did that thing? How do I can face that issue?
Sam, you're picking your computer issue.
Just say I shouldn't be on the show today.
Nah, I'm you. You know, when that thing happening to me, DK can say, you know, I get tactic, I can play. So you playing tactic to that extent, you got to join. But here's what I was saying. I don't know whether those things are different. DK, maybe you can come in there to give us some knowledge about it. Whether
Gavon using people money on an asking circumstances, Gavon will be investigated. You remember the case between Gafwan and John Molu? Mm-hmm. That when Ellen, John, you were small, when Ellen was celebrating her birthday in Sano at the time, there was a direct transfer to the executive marshal, signed by Gafwan at the time when you were minister. So GAC raised that alarm. But the presidency said they authorized it. Whatever way GAC carried out investigation or LACC carried out investigation that time, I think at the time LACC was not in existence. I can't speak to that, but it was a major issue, somewhere around $500,000. It was a major issue that John Molu and people fled. But there was some investigation in the country that the president will already come and take responsibility of. But in this particular case, I haven't heard the former president taking full responsibility of any action that people took. They just continue to make reference to him that, oh yes, he authorized it. But if he doesn't speak to that, depending on what the prosecutor is necessary that they need to do that. Even when a president take responsibility or certain thing, and prosecutor fee say they can still carry that case to court and win it, it's up to them. But remember that was a huge debate. And the finance minister at the time said that there was somebody that was both between the GSC and the finance minister. They accused who know our Councillor Samuel Fala at the time. So the Samuel Fala, I think he was working with the GSC or working with finance, and he was John Model special assistant. So that was the issue at the time. Anthony Meyer was Kafuan special assistant, the current deputy minister. So those were debates that they raised at the time. Again, the prosecutor, the Minister of Justice, and everybody involved just need to take out the case and prove whether the person is wrong or right. Other than that, because this Samuel thing are not being flagged by the common government, he will just go. So people just need to take out the case and see whether it's a prosecutable, so that they can prosecute the case. You said when your people coming?
Those who may come in, the man gotta go.
People will soon be coming. We need to set up in the back first before we come on. So they will soon be here. We should soon be.
Yeah.
Here.
So
yeah.
Yeah. So I'm good with that. I think we can call it a day. For me, I really don't have much to say about that because the case is there. What we do know to flag here is the LACC commission says over 500,000 were accounted for on the 12 stuff, and then the funds were moved from the ministry, the finance ministry, to the FIA agency, and the cash was withdrawn. The money was allegedly used for national and joint security operation. And that's one thing that people are still questioning. There's no detail. And 12 always says this is national security stuff, so they can't go into details. Just like NSA, he can't come out and say exactly what the national security details are about. No receipt, no document or proof of use have been provided. And then the guy, the FIA director, Stanley Ford, he couldn't explain where the money went. And then the controller, Sam D. Cooper, also gave conflicting statements about the same money. And again, Yanti Tuan and Kamo, the other guy who's also fighting, admitted to involvement, but they lacked documentation to explain what their detailed involvement was. And then, as of now, former finance minister has not yet responded to the investigation. So, no credible evidence of the fund being used legitimately. So, there's a lot of unanswered questions. Like DK and CLT said, we have to wait and see. We don't want to cast any verdict now while the case just started. But yeah, we'll be back again tomorrow. Since you have to go, we'll let you go. And then we'll be back tomorrow with our regular show. Trying to see who can get Honorable, what's his name? Honorable Yelu. Since he's returned back to Liberia, to get him on here.
Thank you. I want to say thank you to you, CEO, and I would say the rest of the folks want to say thank you for being here tonight. It has been a wonderful conversation with all of you. We're going to be here tomorrow for another fascinating edition of the Heat Hour program here on BKS TV. I want to say a very big thank you to our listeners, our followers, those of you who've been following us on Facebook. We want to say thank you for following. Those of you who have also been listening to us via radio, we want to say thank you for listening. We're going to be here tomorrow with another brand new edition of the Heat Hour program. Keep posted. We are about to bring you the ULAB Women Empowerment Committee International's Women's Day celebration closing ceremony on the show. Tonight's closing ceremony will feature Ambassador Judy Andy, the cultural ambassador, and also the Minister of Gender and Children and Social Protection in Liberia. It's going to be a fascinating show as they share insight about women leadership across the country. How can women contribute to our national leadership, our national development, all of that. It's going to be a great one here, but we will be back very shortly. Thank you for listening and have a pleasant good evening. Siawite, take care, Chief.